Last time we were talking about, we talked about a lot of things actually. We looked at synthetic division, and then we did talk about this remainder theorem, which is really kind of amazing. Basically, it says if you want to know f of a, then use synthetic division, where a is the solution, and whatever you get for the remainder, that's the same thing as f of a. I mean, how that could be, I don't know, but it's true. And so that comes up with this factor theorem, because basically, if we factor something, when we want to find out if something's a zero, the remainder should be what? 0. And so basically it's that same kind of thing. So here in this next example, it says use the factor theorem to show that the first polynomial is not a factor of the second. So the only thing we need to do is show that f of, in this case, -3 is not a solution. It doesn't have a remainder of 0. So let's just do that using synthetic division. We're going to use -3 because that's the solution for x plus 3 equals 0. And then we had -3, -9, 5. Okay, we brought down our first number or coefficient. We multiply -3. -3 is 9. Add those, we get 0. 0 and -3 gives us 0. If we add those, we get 5. 5 and -3 gives us -15. When we add these, we get -3. Okay, so we can tell this is not a factor because 1, it doesn't divide out evenly, and 2, if it was a factor, then we'd be able to say that f of -3 is 0. And in this case, the remainder theorem tells us that f of -3 is equal to what? -3. Okay? So just check that out, because I'll ask you to do that on the test, to use the remainder theorem to evaluate the polynomial. And so plug that in your calculator real quickly to make sure that what I'm telling you is true. When we plug in -3, you should get -3. Yes?
So we couldn't just go ahead and plug in -3. You want us to use the synthetic division?
Right, because that's what we're talking about right now. Okay, I mean, yeah, we could have done that. That would be one way, but I want us to understand, how we're using synthetic division and the factor theorem to get to that point. Okay, did you plug it in? Okay, did you get -3? Okay, excellent. All right, very good. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is how we'll know when things are factors, because that's what we're trying to do, is find all of the factors of the polynomial. And so we'll need to be able to look at this and say, yes, this thing works, or no, it doesn't. All right? Does not work. That's right. It says use the factor theorem. So I would say because there's a remainder of -3, then -3 is not a factor, or x plus 3 is not a factor. Okay?